Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, Sonara girl. How are you? Let me make sure that y'all can hear me. Let me make sure my mic is together today. I'm early today. I said I'm gonna be early today because I got some things I need to do. And I moved some stuff around. But say hi to me when you get here. Let me know if you can hear me. How y'all feeling out there today? It has been like chaos all around the world. But guess what? You live to see another day. Wait a minute, I'm just checking my sound out, okay? Hey y'all, so I checked out Katana's. Girl, not you right there. That's my other video. How we feeling? It's Wednesday. Can you believe it? Okay, good. All I see is one person. Thank you. All I need is one to say I can hear you. Good. Thank you. How you doing, Sonera? I know you are counting down because school is almost over. I know you are excited about that. Aren't aren't we? Oh my gosh, you had a crazy 24 hours, girl. Do we need to get into my 24-hour fiasco? More like, what's it? I don't even know if today Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, no, today Wednesday, girl, because you're gone live. Child, look at that, girl. Listen, tell me about yours. I feel like it's a little dark in here. I ain't even fixed the light. I was just so pumped that today my schedule, what they say, permits for me to be able to go early. And we're going to get into some things. I have been, y'all listen, have y'all been seeing the stuff that's been going on with this Dr. Cheyenne and Paul and me? Look, I washed and twisted my hair today and I just untwisted it a little bit before the show started because I said, I am not about to sit here and untwist my bush, pluck it all out, and then got to twist that stuff back down. This is what we do because I usually just let it get big on its own. So, yeah. Hump day. Yes, it's hump day. How you feeling, Marty T in the building? And I have some different videos that I want to bring to you guys too that I'm working on. So, since I've been, watching this figure, trying to get a rich nigga, you know, um, the homie that made some banana pudding, but she made the banana pudding out of all this, let me tell you, out of all this supposed to be less fat stuff. So I'm going to try that today. It's vanilla, Greek yogurt, vanilla pudding, low calorie cream cheese, tablespoons, condensed milk, and chestnut cookie crumbs. Although all of that still sounds a little fattening to me, but it's all right. It sounds like it's going to be good, and I'm going to taste it. All right. So just say hello to me when you get here. Share the show, you guys. Um, and look, I'm moving around because y'all know I got all these screens. I gotta get a bigger desk. So if y'all feel the need to want to send some donations tonight, please feel free to help me. Okay. My neighbor stole my Walmart order last night, so I am not in the best mood. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Really? I don't know what's going on. It's knocking it off Facebook. Knock it off, Facebook. Oh my goodness. Okay, see? So that's what happened to me. Remember when I caught that old lady trying to steal my groceries? These people be over here really trying to play with people's coinage. Girl, in a minute, it's going to be like Hunger Games. We're going to be out here signing people up for tribute. Okay? They better act like they know. If you're on YouTube, make sure you are liking the video and saying hello. Oh my goodness, and never guess what? Well, don't nothing good come to a thief, even though you spent your hard-earned money. But I like to look at stuff like that. Well, clearly you needed it more than me. But then again, I don't know. That's the mature side to look at it. But then the other side is like, I'm about to kick your mother freaking over these groceries. So we're gonna let that simmer in our spirit, and then maybe somebody could come and tell us what we should do about the people stealing the groceries. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, and did they deny stealing the groceries? Look, hold up. Did they deny stealing the groceries? Let's see. Let me see what you said. Let me see if I can see it this way. Okay. No. He had no remorse at all, no apology. Even when the police came, I pressed charges, as you should, and you should take him to court. You should take him to court and get your court costs back. Because listen, if you lie, you cheat. If you cheat, you steal. You cannot be trusted. But I know how it is, because that's what I told y'all the last time. That lady crossed the hall from me. She was about to lose her whole life behind some pineapples. I was in here juicing. She didn't even know she was trying to steal fruit. Baby, wasn't nothing in this order worth you risking your life for. Well, did you get the groceries back, or did he keep before we move on in, and say hi to me when you guys get in here. I see you guys in here. What's going on? Um, this is how I get to know my crew who stays up on the internet. So I've seen a lot of things going on this week. What you say? He admitted it, but it was crazy because he knows I have a camera on my door. Oh, so you call him red-handed stealing? Listen, these days people don't have no coof. I'm telling you, they don't have no coof. They out here stealing. Girl, they'll steal you if they could get away with it. Okay, listen, not you got caught on a ring camera and said it wasn't me. Just like a man, he gonna die with the lie. Ain't that what you say, true man? That they die with the lie. He gave part of it back. Mm, mm, mm. Shame on him. I wish I knew his name and I'd call him. Shame on you, Mr. Man, out there stealing people groceries and only had the nerve to give back some of the groceries. Shame on him. Shame on him. So that is ridiculous. And times are hard out here. And it's not excusing what he did to you, though. You should say, yes, Lord. That's ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. Um, when all you gotta do is ask. You know what I mean? Although some of y'all people are ask y'all still to tell a mother freaking no. So, I understand some people, they damned if they do, damned if they don't. But now you're about to get your dag on life, altering decisions, all because you wanted to steal somebody's got dag on groceries on camera. Ah, I'm so sorry you had to go through that scenario. Hopefully, because the groceries were stolen, you were able to also dispute that transaction, right? Dispute that transaction, girl. Get on the bank, call everybody, and let's do what we do. And you live far out there in them good folk neighborhood, they say. What you saying? I would have fed him if he had asked. That's what I'm saying. Girl, well, now I want to know, girl, what did he take, girl? What did he take and what did he keep before we get into what's going on tonight? What did he take and what did he keep? Enlighten me. Because now I want to know, okay? Hey, it's too many food pantries for that. I don't know if she lives where there's a food pantry, though. Sonera live in a bougie neighborhood. She lives in the bougie part of Maryland. That's what they say, though. But I guess the bougie folk is going through it too. Golly. You straightened it out with Walmart. Good. So Walmart gave you back your stuff. I'm so glad. Did they give you back your stuff, Sonera? Girl, I wish I knew him. We would blast him right on here. You know why? Because we are living in a times where people need to be exposed for the stuff they did. Especially we out here doing it to the wrong people. I mean, not saying that it's the right people to steal from, but you get what I'm saying. At least what that boy name was? Robin Hood. Wasn't he stealing from the rich and giving to the poor? God, make it make sense. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. What'd you say? She said it's a church around the corner who gives away food every Wednesday. Oh, okay. So maybe you could point him in that direction. Because guess what? You can't hold it against him. You just gotta be aware. Clearly, he don't care because you caught him on a ring camera. So what they say. What my cousin say. She used to tell me, you can't argue with a fool. You can't make sense out of nonsense. So clearly he don't care about no camera. Okay. You gonna post a video? You gonna post a video after you move out? Okay. Yes. We like neighbors beware. Okay. There is a grocery thief amongst us. Hunger Games is real out here. And he is not volunteering as tribute. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, and but I'm glad you were able to get that worked out with Walmart. And girl, listen, he gonna get his, okay. So moving right along, how are you guys feeling today? What's new? What's going on in your neck of the woods? I see you out there, YouTube. Make sure you guys share the show for me and say hello. So let's get into it. So Scenario, you always usually be on the social media prowl, you and Andre. Um, um, have you oh, thank you, girl. Look, see, I got the VIP tee. Thank you, girl. I'm gonna take a look at it. Let me see. Do you want me to look at it now? Let me look at it now so I can see. Y'all, hold on, y'all. Serious business. Serious business on the line right now. Oh, and he an older person. So you know he know better. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Getting the tea intermission. Commercial talk amongst yourselves. Okay. He came out the door. And he blind. Now you know what? What's the name of that? Why you send me this? He's blind and he's stealing. Hold on, let me see. He sure did walk right to your door. And he was looking at it as he was going down the steps. Hold on. All right, so he come out. Is he blind or is that a puppy? Y'all know I put some. Okay, must be a puppy. I thought he was blind. So now I'm about to say, Lord have mercy. How you do that? All right, and yes, he did. Y'all, yes, he did. Oh, he got a puppy. He sure did. Girl, he sure did walk right over there to your door, girl. Yes, he did. So she said he not blind. Girl, listen, you gotta let me watch the rest of the video. You know I get excited. Yeah, I start adding my own stuff. Oh my God. All right, so maybe he had to feed the dog. You know, Sanera, he walked straight over to the door and picked up her groceries, y'all. With the Shih Tzu. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Well, justice for you, Sanera. I'm glad the police came. I'm gonna listen to the rest of the footage. But I can't believe it. He sure did. He opened up that door. Y'all looked over there and walked down them steps. Like, what she got over there? And came back with the dog and took the groceries and walked in the house. Mm, 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 mm. My. Sure look good tonight, is what he said. Hey, Andre, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me tonight. Whoa, look what the cat drug in. Hey, CJ, how are you? How are you? He says, hello, Sanera. All right, so let's get into it. So just briefly, we're going to skim into this. So did you guys see all this stuff that's going on with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant? Okay. Now, I don't know. You guys tell me how you feel about it. You know, I'm going to definitely tell you guys how I feel about it. And, you know, we are all here representations of ourselves. Okay. I like to look at things from a different way. And I had to really sit with this, right? First of all, I was busy and too tired, but then I had to really go and look and see, well, what's going on, and really hear the people's, y'all know we coming up with our words, upsetness. Okay. Let's hear the people's upsetness. Okay. And the people was upsetness, y'all. Listen. And now we're all here representation of outside. Now I love her. I love her. I love her. I'm sorry, y'all know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm always loving the outcast, but I don't know. I like her. I like her. I can't say I don't. Um, but I understand the gripes behind her. I understand people's gripes behind her. I do and then I don't, but I do. Okay. What's up, y'all? I'm good and I'm tired and I'm driving. You always driving. So never says she's a mess. Tell us why she's a mess. Tell us why she's a mess, Sanera. Sanera also says, CJ, be safe on that road. Okay. So here's my thing. Okay, Sanera, let me talk to you. And hey, Andre. All right. So I don't know. All right. So here's the thing. It's so with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, it is so layered for me, right? And I'll start here. I've watched her from when she like first came out, right? It's kind of like I forget which show Clarissa was on, and then once I watched that, it made me go back and like watch all of her shows, all of her interviews, so I can get to know Clarissa Shields. You know how they say, oh, uh, they can't stand Clarissa. Clarissa is this arrogant, whatever she is. I love Clarissa. I definitely, this has nothing to do with them, but I definitely feel like that, you know, for whatever reason, and maybe you guys can help me out here. Me and one of my friends were talking about this, and maybe they can chime in too. Um, we were talking about this, how it like when you are a black woman and you are confident and you speak out, that is a problem in itself. Like America does not like that, right? He said he missed you, Pastor. America doesn't like that. So I've worked in a profession like that where that was like a no-no, which you could not do. So when we had that conversation, I could understand that because I've actually lived that part, right? Um, and not everybody has experienced it. So here we are with Dr. Bryant. So I went and I watched her. And I will say this. I said when I saw her do the show with Cam Newton, when she just was talking and she did the interview with Cam Newton, I was like, ooh, child, they about to come for her neck. Like they about to try to come for this lady. And then when I seen she made it to Shannon Sharp, because at first she was just only on, she was just only on, you know, publicly, she was only on um Nick Cannon. Remember? I don't know if you guys follow her or not, but she was on Nick Cannon, and then she just kept going on up. But she was also behind the scenes and one of the producer for the show Teen Moms. Do y'all remember that show? I remember that show. I remember that show. Do y'all remember that show, Teen Moms? It was like all these different little teenagers, and they was off the chain, but they had their babies and stuff like that. Some of y'all probably didn't watch it. It was back in like the early 2000s. Um, I used to watch that show. So she was on that show. She was behind the producing of that show. Okay. And, you know, she had, yes, 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 Andre. Yes, Andre. Okay. Okay. Y'all remember. I didn't watch it, but I remember. I didn't watch it. But I didn't remember. Okay. Hey, Nick. Nick says she's deceptive. Okay. So I watched that show. So, like I said, so I have been observing like everything and everybody like just going in on this lady on the internet. And don't get me wrong, um, right is right and wrong is wrong, and everybody's entitled to their opinions, right? But I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time, and me and my friend would be laughing because I don't have moments like that much, right? And I was like telling my friend, because usually my friend, she uses the word disgusting a lot, right? That, you know, that's not a word that's in my vocabulary. But now that somehow it has leaped there, right? And I was like, I had to call her and I was like, this is so disgusting to see, right? And I thought, because me and her, we don't agree on nothing. And I thought she was just, we just was gonna be going at it with the Powie well, with the Powie well. And she was like, oh no, I know what you're talking about. So I was like, it's for me, right? It's been so like disgusting to see how the internet is like going in on this lady, right? And just from the men, and then you have, of course, you have your doctors and everything. And I get it, like it gives everybody something to talk about. I don't even like to talk about the stuff that everybody talks about. I hate it. But I had to come here today and bring it up because I didn't get time to do a little short video for it because I was busy and tired. And I was like, no, you know? So I thought it was a little disgusting, really, and disturbing to see. And I was just like, even with like Erica Kirk, right? And give me your heart and a thumbs up if you hear. Even with Erica Kirk, did you guys see the fiasco with Drewski, right? Even with that fiasco with Drewski and how Erica Kirk really sat and said what she said. What Drewski said, to a degree, she said that. Like, God only like really cares about, the white men of the world and all of this, and whatever. Like Erica Kirk really did say that, all this stuff that Drewski did. So he was just mocking her, and it was funny. But what I will say, and I don't like it, and I do not like it. And I was so like, oh, I had to chew on my tongue, but I had to say it. And although you had the people who dragged Erica Kirk, well, no, I ain't see nobody dragging Erica Kirk for her speech or what she did or mentioning anything about it until Drewski reenacted, right? But what I will say about them people, baby, whether Drewski was right, wrong, or indifferent, they did not play when it came to one of their own. Did y'all see that? They were speaking up. You ain't hear not one of them say she was wrong for what she did. She, whatever, nothing. But they all, I mean, even people who I didn't even know, like up there, those public figures, like they all came together. And I remember doing that. And I remember doing that because of the simple fact, I was like, I called my homie. I'm like, yo, do you see how they rallying behind this lady? Like, yo, what she said is so jacked up. I said, but yo, them people, they gonna stick together. They don't care. They gonna stick together. You're not gonna just put to shame one of their own. They're not gonna let you do it. I mean, you could do it, but then I mean, case in point, look at the president. You got a million people that defend that, right? But that's a whole nother conversation, right? And I was like, and then when this happened with Cheyenne Bryant, right? I am like, ooh, this is two different things. They're both women, different races, and talk about different things. But I was just like, yo, every video I seen, and I'm not saying that there is not any out there. I will not say that because I ain't all over the internet. But every video I seen about this lady was by somebody that looked just like her, right? And they going in, boom, boom, this, and all this, and whoop-de woo. And everybody's doing all this research, right? Research. So here with that little bit, that brings me back. Definitely, Andre. They gonna stick together. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Okay. And it brings me back to that, right? And I kept saying, woo. And I'm like, God, why do you want me to speak on this? What's going on with this? Like, what are we seeing here? What do you want me to see here? So that's why I don't always jump the gun on everything. I got to let it sit. All right. And here it is. Now, when I first got introduced to her, like I told you, I was on the show. I seen her do an interview, and I went back. I went and listened to her because I liked the conversation. I like the conversation of the discussion that's there. I wasn't someone who listened to her for advice, for direction, um, to pick her apart, to see if there's a chink in her armor. I genuinely showed up to listen to her to see what the conversation was going to be about, what she was talking about, who she was talking about, and how their conversation was. And I knew that when she was up there dancing around and the way she broke Cam Newton down, oh, and he couldn't really like rebuttal it. Now, I don't know if you guys watch Cam Newton's interviews, but if you don't, I'd highly recommend you watch not just his interviews with the men, but watch more than 5 of his interviews to get, and I'll tell you the 5 to watch. I'll give you even 10 to watch to really understand, right? And I said, whoo, he don't like that. He do not like that this lady is telling him he is a high value, low functioning man. Now, if you watch Funky Friday and if you know Cam Newton, you think, what she say? You arrogant. That thing is an arrogant thingamajigger, okay? And I've watched him have several conversations with educated women, like women that are full blown educated, and versus the ones he's had, And I'm like, why is he even, But that's another story for another day. Stay focused. Um, and he can't handle it. Like he can't handle it, right? But when it came down to her, I was like, okay. Cause then again, you know how it is. Um, prior to, they begin to attack her. So what I've learned with discovering her, who she was, because she goes and she speaks and she knows what she's talking about. I will not say that that lady don't know what she's talking about, because I've learned a lot of the things that she was talking about, and I've had someone teach me about a lot of the things she was talking about. So I love listening to conversations that I'm not lost in, right? So, she does and specializes in like the law of attraction and all of that. So that's me, all of that too. So I definitely understand a lot of what she speaks about. I really do. And um next thing I know, right? Here we are, and it's this whole um all of this all of this uh scrutiny, as y'all like to have it. And then outside of that, I'm like, okay, here we are. And I'm gonna get to you guys' comments in a minute, right? And I am just like, okay, but I do love the fact that this lady is so unbothered. Like she's still on her little tour with her book, promoting her book, and she's so unbothered, and or at least she's appearing to be, because she could fold and not continue to go on any of the shows that she has to go on. But outside of that, right? I'm like, okay, so the issue they were saying, and me and my friend always talk about it. She be like, girl, whenever you explain or answer give the public an answer, they going to demand more and more. That's why you just should never answer them. Right. So we were having our, side conversations about it. And I'm like, yeah. So I definitely get those who feel a way about it. But I really feel like it had to be from people who were going to her. And this is why I say, that's why I said, well, is she a fraud, or did you just not do your research? Because I knew she wasn't a doctor, I knew she was a life coach. And so it's all over her websites and stuff. Even when she speaks, whether she goes, now here we are with the other things. Legally, she trademarked the name Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So when in businesses, you can have, what you do business as and all of that other stuff. Now, I feel like that if that's the problem, then that should be a problem that they should take up with whatever state or whoever you gotta go argue that with, that allow people to be able to do business as whatever you choose to do business as. So legally, she can use that. Is it wrong to assume that because she says Dr. Cheyenne Bryant that she might be a doctor, whatever, tomato, tomato? No, because it is there. But legally, I think that's too why she didn't really flinch in that area so much, because she knew that she had trademarked the name. I said, hey, coach. She said several times she was a doctor in psychology in several interviews. Okay, see, and for me, I've always seen her say she was an expert in psychology. I know she does have her master's in like Pan-African and psychology, but outside of that, right? I'm just like, dang, yes, people can feel a way and people are upset, but when do you stop believing everything you see on the internet? When do we start doing our own research? Because Derek Jackson had y'all fooled. People were heartbroken about that. Kevin Samuels had people fooled. Talk about you should only deal with a 5 and a 6 and somebody that's like a size 7 and he died with a big girl. You know what I mean? The guy Ace from tonight's conversation, I forget the other girl, she exposed all of his stuff. And it's like, here we are. I'm always saying, and what I've been saying is, what makes her any different from any of these other podcast people who sit and say or feel that they're gurus and experts or whatever in any things or whatever, and then you discover that they aren't. So the other thing that kind of had me like, wow, dang, is because, talk about judgment, right? I saw the guy from, and don't get me wrong, he fine. And I saw the guy from I Am Truth or something, or Truth, or Truth Held, right? What, I don't know what his name is. Truth Hurts. Let's see. Hey, how is the consumer being held responsible for someone misrepresenting themselves? I wouldn't really say that, but I feel like that you should do your research. I will always stand on that. You should do your research on somebody. If you feel like that somebody's saying that they're a doctor, or if you feel like somebody's saying that they're a lawyer, or whatever it may be, you may be representing yourself well differently. But I feel like as people, we've stopped doing our research. I really do. Like, we stop doing our research. We take everybody as a matter of fact. And the minute something goes wrong, it's like, oh, well, this is not what it was said. When it's like, everybody who've ever, and we're all different. When I first discovered her, I did my research. But again, I didn't look for her for advice. So maybe that's probably why. So I understand those who could be upset, but she's always said like she had sessions. They brought her on Basketball Wives to have sessions. So I didn't get to see everything that everyone else is saying, because anytime I saw something, and even if some of them how they introduced her, like I went back to like the very first show or something, and how Nick Cannon introduced her, and how he introduced her. And he didn't introduce her as a doctor or anything. He introduced her as of who she was. And he said, you are the owner and founder of Dr. Bryant's Institute. Right? So that's why, and that's the very beginning of when I found her, like the very first time she touched the internet, to my knowledge, right? On Nick Cannon. And so that's where I saw that at. So he introduced her as the founder of Dr. Bryant's Institute. And she was like, yes. And if you go on her page, it's Dr. Bryant's Institute. Let me see. But what I found to be interesting, let me see if I can find it. But what I found to be interesting, right, is because back to what I was saying about like I Am Truth. Now, I Am Truth went to prison. He came home, right? Shout outs to him for changing his life around. I think he did like 4 years or so. He came home and now he uses his platform for people uh to call him for relationship advice and life coaching and all of that. So shout outs to him, right? For what he does. But I'm like, when he went on to something else he said, what else did he say? It was some other stuff he said. Now, here it is. I just was like, dang. Well, how is it that you saying, because I think they were all supposed to go on like a tour. It was like her, Claudia, Jordan, and whatever. And he was saying he didn't. So the guy was asking him, like, well, would you have her come on so you could talk to her about her being a fraud or whatever the case may be? And he was like, no, whatever. And I'm just like, but imagine if somebody said that they didn't want to listen to you because you were in prison. You were in prison for like 4 or 5 years. You wouldn't want nobody to do that to you. So, but he too is a relationship expert and a life coach expert, right? But wait a minute, y'all, I'm trying to pull up some stuff. And he is upset about that, you know? Now, I don't know. This is just me and my point of view on it. Like I said, I was looking at her because I was so she's a life coach with a master's degree in marriage and family and child therapy. She does life coaching sessions. What else? What else? She has a master's in Pan African and let's see. Let's see, y'all. And you guys chime in. Or you can call in. How about that? Where did it go? Let me see. But ultimately, I don't believe this will hurt her any. Cause y'all know what happens for whatever reason when y'all think people like I feel like Puffy gonna come out of jail and be more be more famous than he was when he went in. Cause you know how it is, okay? People, you think people something gonna mess people up and people become more famous than what they was. Like R. Kelly could come home right now and go on tour and outsell. I guarantee you. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. Um, but I can put the link in if you guys would like to call in or we can read the things. But I had let me see. But you know. But yeah, so that's just my whole little thing on her. But I was telling Coach, I was like, he asked me about. I said, well, I'm standing beside her because she ain't fooled me. But I did my research, and I don't really care what she do. Honestly, I ain't that invested. I'm trying to get to Hollywood and where she at. Okay, we in 4 different bank tax brackets. Okay, but it is good for conversation. But I just was like, dang it. When I saw that the guy that went to prison, you have the right to talk to who you want to talk to. But when I saw that he was like, he ain't want to interview her, I was like, suppose somebody don't want to interview you because you went to prison. Like we all have some things in our closet that could make somebody say, I don't want to be bothered with you either. It's things like that. But everybody wanted to sit with her and go on tour with her when they thought she was going to bring them a coin, you know? I mean, well, then again, look at it. Look at how the people turned on Jesus. You feel me? So it's very seldom that you find somebody to stick it out with your child. But going back to, I think, what Sanera said about her arrogance, they feel like she's arrogant. I mean, they say the same stuff about Clarissa. So I really do feel like outside of this, that people just really want you to be insecure, quiet, have low self-esteem, and not think highly of yourself. Or if you have knowledge in some areas, right? You ever have knowledge in some areas, or more knowledge in some areas than other people, and they'll say, well, where you're such and such at? Because I remember when she was speaking on like the broken homes and stuff, they began to say, well, who are you in a relationship with? And then she was like, well, I was engaged twice, and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know if she's a lesbian or not, but I remember that became a thing. It was like, after the Shannon Sharp thing, no, after the Cam Newton thing, it was, well, how can she um how can she give out advice if she's a lesbian? Do y'all remember that? That was a big thing at first. They felt like she couldn't give no advice because she was a lesbian, right? And then now it's like, here we go. It's like, we got her. She doesn't have a doctorate. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So her master's is in the marriage, family, child therapy, training in therapeutic approaches for family systems, child development, relationship dynamics. She blended her psychology training and coaching. So she has a master's degree. God damn it, she got more than what I got. Okay, I got me a high school diplomat. Okay, so shout outs to her. Let's see. And she says she's a psychology expert and renowned life coach. But I never heard her say she takes insurance for sessions. So that's why it's like a little tricky, because if you go to her website, you have to pay out of pocket for a session. So this is why I'm just like, did you do your research? I don't care if she says she was the doctor of freaking, but legally she's Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. That's her trademark name, and she's sticking beside that. All right, let's go to some of the comments. I was trying to read some stuff. No, hey, oh, you still here? No, the ask is for honesty. Okay. Oh, let me go back on the screen so I'm gonna tilt my neck. People, oh no, this is you. Wait a minute, I'm trying to wait for it to pop up on the screen so I can see it. Doctor carries weight in education. That title is for people who have put the time in and achieved it. She didn't even show proof that she defended her dissertation. Yeah, I got that. Definitely. Okay. I have two friends who have worked for 4 years to get their doctorate and graduated this weekend. Congratulations to them. Congratulations. Now, I feel like, of course, this is true. Had this not made the internet, we wouldn't even know who this lady was. If she would have stayed behind the scene of these shows she was producing and doing this type of work on, we wouldn't have known who she was. And it's like, Erica Kirk just went. I'm sorry, y'all, but I just like to pull up to that. Erica Kirk just went to a school, right, that wanted to honor her husband And um they wanted to honor her husband. I don't only know about this because Candace Owens is in a tizzy about it, okay? Um Candace Owens was upset because Erica Kirk, they get at this college, they gave Erica Kirk the degree that her husband never finished, but they also gave her one too. Y'all can go get the details from Candace Owens. So my thing is, listen, this white woman just got a degree and ain't never even attended the school. Just because of who her husband was, they gave it to her, okay? But we always want somebody to prove something. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Let me see. These are the things that make you go, hmm. And I'm gonna get to the comments and then I'll put the call in button. Y'all know I'm here working tonight. I'm about to tell you right now because Candace Owens was pissed about it. Her and Candace Owens been going at it. Candace Owens was pissed about it. They gave her a degree, and Candace is like, "You how they gave Trump wife got the Nobel Peace Prize." Like if we want to, if like I just feel like the selective outrage on proof and earnings, we gotta stop it. We gotta stop it. We gotta stop it. We gotta. That's just look. This is my personal opinion. I ain't asking nobody. Y'all know I don't care if nobody agree with me. I agree with me. Okay. Let me see. I'm about to find it. I'm about to find it. They just gave Erica a doctorate. I knew it. A doctorate. A DEI doctorate. And she never went to the freaking school. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me see if I let me see. Y'all can't hear it, but hold on. I'm gonna hold it. She went to Hillsdale College to deliver a commencement. She said, and she said, "We America have already adjusted to this new way of living. They can do what they want to do." It was an honorary doctorate that was supposed to be given for her husband. And okay, okay, see Andre, okay, was so she went to get the doctorate. I'm sorry, the doctorate that they were giving in honoring of her husband because he didn't get to finish, and Lou, she was able to get one herself. She had never attended. Now, I cannot confirm nor deny, but Candace is up there with them. Candace and the husband was best friends, so she gonna know more than all of us. But so I just feel like when it comes to us, we always want all of this proof, and for people to prove, you gotta prove everything. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand if she's saying she's a doctor and she's doing all of these things, you can't, if she studied psychology, you can't take away her education. You can't take away her knowledge of psychology. You can't take away her knowledge of Pan-Africanism of what she learned. You can't take away her law of attraction certifications or whatever she got. Hell, I got those. They hanging up in here in my office. And my other institutes that I attended when it comes to the Bible and studying different things. You can't take that away, right? So it's just like, although she may not, right, be a doctor, and she trademarked the name that she's doing business as, business is business. I don't see her wrong for saying Dr. Bryant if that is what she does business as. Like, it's legally what she does business as. Now, is it misleading? Can it be misleading? I truly do believe that it can be misleading. But I feel like you should do your research. But I don't know. Because y'all don't even research. Y'all don't even research half the stuff that goes on around the world. You understand? Like you had, people were saying that I messed her name, Kamala wasn't eligible to be president when she was the only one eligible to be president with who she was going up against. I saw people yelling that, saying she's not fit to be president. Uh, you know, this, that, and the third, all of this. You know what I mean? And I know some people who are real. I get it. You earned those names, you went to those names, and it's just funny. And I do know that titles and names and things matter, right? Especially to whomever they matter for, and especially if you've earned it. Shout outs to everybody who went to um who went to school and who did it. You understand? Um, I definitely agree, a shout outs to that. Oh, let's see. Honorary doctor is a symbolic and no one is getting hospital privileges after getting one. Why won't you hold her accountable? This is because I'm not the one to hold her accountable, because I knew she wasn't a doctor. I knew she wasn't a doctor. I never thought that this lady was a doctor. I knew she was a life coach. Now, I feel like those who felt she was a doctor, right? Like I said earlier, yeah, hold her accountable if you felt like, you were bamboozled. I don't feel like she hoodwinked me. I don't feel like she hoodwinked me. She really didn't hoodwink me. She truly didn't. Um she really didn't. I just don't see it. She really didn't hoodwink me. Um but I do know people who were also like looking for something to be wrong about her from the very beginning. Some people will look at you and want something and be hoping for something to be wrong. She continues to stand on business but won't prove it. Hey, and guess what? Maybe she's standing on a business because legally that's her name. Legally, that's she trademarked Dr. Bryant. Legally, she trademarked it. I don't know. I would probably stand on it too. I mean, we may not like it. We may not like it. But I mean, what can we do about it? Let's see. I just was taken back by all the hoopla on the internet, and I was like talking to my friends, and I'm like, dang, and then I remember not eligible since when was a vice president not eligible to run for president. And I remember coach and I was chit-chatting about it, and he was like, well, people don't like being lied to. And I said to him, people very much like being lied to. Look at the president of the United States of America. You know what I mean? So, you wanted to call in. Wait a minute. Look, shout outs to Bonita. Bonita is on her motherly duties tonight. So I'm in here. I got to do everything. I'm sorry, y'all. But I say that all the time. People do not like the truth. And even after you get the truth, what do you do? Don't know the apology is never as loud as the lie or the rumor, right? Isn't that what they call it? Almost a bunch of comments. The apology is never as loud. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm going around. Hold on. I'm trying to get the button. I'm trying to. Where's the share? Hold on, y'all. I got it. All right, I got it. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put the link down here. I got it. And then you can click that link and you can call in if you like to say something. Let's see. Did it come through? Come on, try again. It's telling me try again. All right, I gotta. All right, I'm trying to wait for it to come up straight. All right, so he says people make my butt itch. How they mad she not a doctor, but taking advice from regular, respected elderly or peers with experience is okay, right? What's the difference if she's actually helping people? I think I believe the issue is, she's going around saying she's a doctor in psychology. Although she's had to study psychology for some of that stuff. But I think, CJ, that's the whole issue, and she won't say she doesn't have a doctorate. And then the school, right, that she went to, she said that records are no longer found, right? So people were like, oh, well, that's a lie, because you could do this, that, and the third. And I just think that it depends, on the people, because I do know I know someone personally that has happened to, with the records and all that other stuff, um, as well, but I don't know. They off what I heard. She was on tonight's conversation panel when they were in Baltimore. And when you think about it too, with that too, Sonara, like with anything, like even with me or anything that anybody else does, like even with the people on the time, I never really fully followed tonight's conversations. Um, I never fully followed them. I just always felt like they just I just feel like that they just give their experiences and just speak with some stuff that's just like common sense. Like if a guy, like if the guy told you he was trying to see you, you've been calling him for a week, but they said y'all had sex, and then he hasn't, and you heard from him every day up until y'all had sex, and then after y'all had sex, you ain't hear from him for another 2-3 weeks, and then you walked in the building and seen him in there with his girlfriend. Like I don't think that it takes an expert to tell you, like, girl, he is a slot bucket, you on a roster, or he is no longer your turn, he's done with you, or maybe he had a girlfriend. Like I just think that some of the stuff that they talk about, and the different things that they do, it doesn't take like a genius to know the answers to some of that stuff. You know what I mean? Can I send you? You are really taking up for this grifter. No, listen, I like her. I don't care if she a doctor or not. She ain't bothering me. I put the thing in there for you guys to call. I didn't think she was a doctor. I knew from the very beginning that this lady wasn't a doctor. Um, I just choose not to. I just choose not to partake up on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't feel. Maybe if I felt like personally a way, it would be I could sit up here and I could be like, yeah, she's a fraud, she's a liar. I did my research. So I did my research before Dr. Cheyenne Bryant became a thing. Um, Even with Clarissa Shields, when people were starting to say, oh, she's arrogant, oh, she's this. I went back when I first saw her. I went back. Now everybody just keep crucifying her because she's with Pat Poos. Like I won't get on that hate train either. I think she had made a post and was like, I'm killing it in this. And everybody in the comments was like, oh, she look a mess. She know what she doing. She said that for clickbait. Blah, 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 blah. She's raised. She wanted to do that to get a response. And I was like, and I came in the comment and was like, but how do y'all know that she really don't feel like she look good? You get what I'm saying? Like, and they was like, she know what she was doing. She knew people was going to get to talking. But how do you know that that girl really ain't feel like she looked good? So I think so I get the link. It's in there. I pinned it. I could pin it. It's right there. So I'm that person. I'm that person. Now, listen, I wasn't on the Kevin Samuels train either, and they was beating me in my head about the Kevin Samuels train. Hell, even I remember when I first did Candy Coated Secrets, and I first was doing like the law of attraction before the law of attraction became this big thing now that it is today, because it's always been a thing. It's just like new to us, right? I remember when I first started doing it and things like that. Um, people would question me. And I don't have a problem with you questioning me, but here we go, because that made me think about that. But I always said, hey, I can't make you believe it. I can just use my life, use it how I know, and use my life as the example, right? And so with that, ooh, I don't know why I'm burping, and so with you saying, she got defensive when she was questioned. I think we naturally get defensive with certain things. Like, I'm not a criminal the first, but the police get behind me and I instantly get an attitude. Maybe it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, or I'll go to a store and then when they want to check the bags, even if it's their job, I get annoyed. I just told y'all a couple weeks ago how me and my cousin went to the Walmart, and I told the man, when you checking my receipt, that's an insult. I feel insulted, and the people who in here stealing probably getting away with murder. I don't know, but I understand that. I mean, even when I used to speak on, and no, I remember when and y'all probably knew, some of y'all are new, some of y'all are not, but I remember when Coach Nick Love first came on to Candy Coated Secrets, and he started coming and he would drop gems in the Facebook group. A lot of people felt like he couldn't give advice because he's gay. You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, well, they felt like, well, what can this man tell me? And he don't like what I like. I think it's like a natural ignorance, that we do. And I'm not, she said, I do too. Yeah, I think that it's just like a natural ignorance that we automatically go to, that subconsciously we don't even know that we go to, or that we do it. You know what I mean? So I'm not justifying what she did. I'm just saying, for me personally, it's disgusting to see people tear her down when I just witnessed all these white people stick up for this Erica Kirk girl. That's who did some stuff, said some things way worse than a damn doctor. You know what I mean? That's just my outlook on it. Um, do I choose to hold her accountable? I feel like that ain't my choice to make. You know what I mean? Um, I feel like, honestly, what it does too. I would love to talk to her. We're gonna get to the get talk. Hopefully maybe this pumped her down a little bit. She'll come talk to Candy Coated. But it also makes you look at the people who've had her on their show, because it makes you look at them really like, now if we really want to get to the accountable part of it all, okay? See, now I'm about to go somewhere I wasn't even gonna go, but the Lord said go there. Here we are. She went on all these people's shows. You are to do your due diligence. Am I lying or am I not, y'all? On your guests that come on your show. Now, I've had guests on here. I've had one celebrity on here. But even outside of the celebrity that I did have on here, even when it came to me having guests on my show, like who I'm going to sit with up here, I do my research. If you know me, if you know me, I'm talking about if you know me, if you were around, and all that, I do my research on regular schmegler degler folk. I've always done it. So when it really does come to, yes, the accountability portion, Shannon Sharp should be held accountable. Cam Newton should be held accountable. I can't even say Nick Cannon because he goddamn introduced her somewhat properly, you know? But even Nick Cannon, you understand? So it's like when you are having someone come on, yes, you do your research to who you're having on that you are putting in front of your audience, who are you bringing to talk to. At the end of the day, put all that. Now we're going to the entrepreneur side. Put Dr. Cheyenne Bryant to the side. You have to do your research. Will there be some people that might slip through the cracks? Absolutely. But I've always said when I have somebody on here and I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this, I tell them even before they come on here, I don't lie to my people. Like my platform was built on being authentic. You know what I'm saying? I take them with me through my life. We talk about everyday challenges and things that people are dealing with. And I know we've gotten away from that a lot in the group from now on because God been pulling me in 20 different directions, but we're circling back, right? And I even said, I think I'm gonna start having guests. Like me and Benita have been talking behind the scenes. Like, yeah, I'm gonna start bringing on guests. And here's my witness. I said to Handy Mandy the other day, I said, I don't even really know if who I would want to bring on because I done seen different sides of people. I said, and then not only that, I said, yo, everybody out here just lying. So my pickings is slim. You know what I mean? So yes, she may have said she calls herself Dr. Cheyenne Bryant because she can. You know, it's her prerogative. If she's putting herself up there as the doctor, the master of this, the lawyer to that, and the inks to none, you know, at the end of the day, you are responsible for doing your own research. Period. And then when things come out, you won't be so disappointed. If you get into a relationship with a man and you didn't already had indications of a woman that they there could be a little liar pants on fire, and then you choose to overlook that because red flags look like six flags, okay? And then later on, you find out that they lied to you about the littlest thing. I don't even care if it was what they ate today. A lie is a lie. Is it his fault or is it your fault? Like, let's really look at this. Is it his fault because he lied? Or is it your fault because you chose to overlook the small lie he told you 5 months ago? A lie is a lie, no matter how small it is. So I feel like that just with anything, you know, but you have to do your research. And this is why I remember when me and my cousin, bless her soul, we used to always chit chat before I even started coming on camera. And we've talked about it. And it was like, yo, don't you open your mouth and speak on nothing you don't know anything about. For one, the devil won't make you prove it. Words have power, and the universe is definitely listening. But don't speak when I say all of this. And she always said, you teach and you talk about what you know. You teach and you talk about what you know. So again, because you can't take what somebody knows. And so I am just like, okay, cool. So really, we have to hold Shannon Sharp and them people who brought her to the limelight in front of the millions and millions of viewers. You hold them accountable, right? And because I was like, dang, I'm wondering how, I said, I wonder how her book is going to do, um, as far as, are they going to make her take it down because her book says Dr. Cheyenne? Da, 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 da. It made me like really be like, what are they going to do? Because I seen so many people like rooting for her downfall. I'm over here. I'm always, I don't know. I probably get that. I know I get that from my cousin. It's just like, no, and no, I'm not gonna pray for your downfall or push you down even further when you already down, or if people kicking you down. I'm sorry, don't blame me. Blame my mentor. You know what I mean? And I am just like, okay. And that's when I said, because I thought they were going to probably make her take her books down because I seen them saying something about that. And I'm like, you can't listen to everything on the internet. Go ahead and read. Go ahead and um, X, X, Y, Z, right? And that's when I learned she trademarked the name. I was like, whew, at least she don't got to take her book down. So it wasn't even, I wasn't even going to that whole thing. But I was like, oh, so she trademarked the name. Now unless something else comes out that she didn't really trademark the name, but from what I read, she trademarked the name. Let's see. These are the examples that make me feel like we're cooked as people. Like we'll never get it together, as much as I hate to think that. What you mean? Explain your answer for 500, CJ. And I put the link in there for you to call. She played two vulnerable people to book sessions. That's part that some people are missing. But the thing is, coach, that is true. That may be true. But in marketing and what you do, they tell you to find your audience and cater to them. The girl, I went to school, I live right here. Y'all know the girl, Ashley Grayson. Y'all know her? Y'all probably heard about her. She went from being extremely broke to becoming a millionaire, had Monica singing at her engagement, to now she's doing 10 years with the feds. I would love to interview her. She's doing 10 years with the feds. And she did credit repair, right? And she had left from Baltimore. She had moved to Texas, and she was like, she wanted to work on credit. She wanted to do this. She was just like, what could she do? She said, I targeted single mothers and people who were broke. This is what she says. Because they're going to listen, they're going to buy in, and that's what you do. That's Louis, Gucci, Prada, Fendi. We target the Black community, and we don't wear our own brands. We have our kids put that money into school stock and everywhere else. Hello, I feel like that this is just a wake up call. Like these are more and more indications that we, the people, need to really wake up. I'm sorry. We need to really wake up. And we cannot keep blaming everyone else because people are presenting themselves. Do your own research. The day I sit up here and I say something, I guarantee you somebody call my phone and say, now, why you lying? You know you don't got no doctorate in X, Y, and Z. Let me come up here and say something to do something. I ain't even, well, I am somebody. We're going to try to research something I say so quick. But see, I don't come and I don't claim to be an expert, but I do know what I know, right? And so that's the thing is, wake up. It's a lot of internet caricatures out here. Come on. I mean, I love the music, but we're listening to music that say, and that's my jam to a degree, bounce that ass like your friend do. Throw it. Like, nigga, why you looking at my friend? You understand? Like, what? But this is me. Not everybody does it. This is me, right? Because I'm like, Then we have it where we have music and stuff, all my single ladies, if he like it, he would have put a ring on it. Beyonce was already married. You got songs where some of these rappers talk about shooting up blocks, and yeah, some of them probably still is shooting up blocks, but these niggas living in mansions. Are we to hold? We got to keep holding everybody accountable? No. When do we start holding ourselves accountable? Yes, I get it. This lady presented herself as whatever y'all want to say. This doctorate. She go in here, she say this. Yeah, but she also ain't tell you not to do your damn research on her either. So we can't even really say, she played on vulnerable because not everybody booked the session. Not everybody believed her. Not everybody fell for the banana in the tailpipe. I'm sorry. Everybody didn't fall for that. But I definitely have compassion and understand those who are upset about it. Absolutely. I never said I didn't. What I also said was it's disgusting to just see how we grilling her like that. And I just watched these people uplift Erica Kirk and the foolishness she say. That's the difference for me. So, not even just her. I see her when she, how everybody do Krishan. Oh, Krishan's so stupid. She was with the Blueface, and now she doing this. We all have been stupid and a fool for somebody else. But these are people. Well, her anyway. She let you see her growth and what she go through out loud. And people then they always say, oh, well, she said she was following God. Well, if you know, like I know, and you say you want to give your son life over to Christ and you want to start doing the right thing, you're going to be back and forth with some stuff. Like it's going to hit you. One day you're going to be good. The next day, them demons going to get to coming because they don't want you to let up. They don't want to let about you either. So she might slip back and be dealing back with the niggas she shouldn't have been dealing with. Then I seen the people upset, like, oh, but she was supposed to be doing herself. She got a kid with the dude. She got to communicate with him. Then if she didn't communicate with him, y'all will be calling her a trifling black bitter woman because she won't let him see the kid. So it's like when it comes to public opinion, you cannot win. And this is why, you have to, I don't know what you may do, whether it's just within your everyday life or whatever you may do on a platform or whatever. This is why it's like more and more as things go on for me personally, is more and more why I see why my cousin was just drilling it in me for all those years. Like you have to be grounded and know who you are when public or people have something to say about you, or if they don't agree with you. You're not going to be for everybody. Everybody's not going to like everything, and that is okay. You yourself don't like everything. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to know who you are. And I do. Like she's confident. If somebody want to say she's arrogant, I don't know, because I don't know her. But at the same time, it's just like, is it a crime to be confident though? Like, let's take them off the table. It was just a whole epidemic. Y'all remember when we did the show some years ago and we was on the Speakeasy show? Oh, that was so many years ago. I got crucified for saying that I was the table. Like some men really want you to say you're a bomb and you have nothing. And I have low self-esteem. I'm insecure. I just want somebody by any means necessary. And what you say goes. And I'm going to follow you, even if you're fucking leading me off the edge of a building. I'm going to follow you. What? You're crazy. Then we have everybody looks alike. Nobody is an individual. Everybody looks alike. It's like one big group think around here. I tell you all the time. Sometimes it's like I feel like we live in Stepford Wives. And anybody who thinks outside of the box, anybody who does not go with the public or status quo is the problem. Woo. I mean, that's just my thoughts. But you know, who am I? The way we beat our own down, unlike the way Erica Kirk people took up for her and she got a free degree. Listen, because when you're white, you're right. Okay? Listen. But I guess the other side is ain't nobody going to Erica Kirk for advice. I guess that's it. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sorry. I don't see it. Not everyone booked a session with April. Who is April? Who's April? Y'all, who is April? What else did I miss? Who is April? Nicholas, who's April? Everybody that judged Krishan about giving her life to God don't have an ounce of God in them, because if they did, they will understand and have compassion. Listen, you get tested, baby. You get tested. I used to have a big circle. Now my circle is small. My circle got small. Okay. But who is April? You know, so again, you know, I just saw that, and then you know, back we talked about it last week, but even with the stuff with Kevin Hart and that roast, you know, you had us justifying those racial jokes. You know, you had us justifying those racial jokes. And then I learned that it was what, like 7, 8, or 9 white men that wrote those jokes for everybody up there to say. I didn't know that. Like, I thought that I knew that somebody had wrote some of the jokes for some of the people, but I thought that like all the other ones, like Kevin Hart, all of them, I thought they all had written their own jokes, but they didn't. And so it was like, dang. So y'all sat there and let these white people write these jokes for y'all to say, and for y'all to be talked about like this, and you think that shit is funny? Okay. Like, really look at what's going on right now. I feel like I missed some comments because I see some over here and I see some over here. He said, I got all my degrees in my graduation pictures. Where are her pictures? I don't know. Shit, I don't know. Listen, y'all. I listen, because look, if something come out with somebody, be then rewind this footage. But I don't give a damn. Like, I said what I said. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It truly is. You know, again, I can't apologize because I ain't do nothing, but I feel for y'all, you know, for those who fell for it. And I get it, you know. You know, we need proof, you know. I wish we needed proof from the president before he got elected. But that's another topic. Let's see. What else? Anything else before we go? I don't know. That's just my little squeezle diesel McDiesel on it. And I pray she comes out on the other side of it. At this point, people have already made their minds up, and we already know when people have their mind made up, it ain't nothing you can do about it to try to change it. Because guess what? Even if she is now going on these people platforms, guess what's going on now? Now people are using her on the platforms for what? For views. Because she's the hottest thing right now. All of this talk about her does nothing but push her up in the algorithm. Does nothing but pushes her books up to the front of the line. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't a publicity thing. You just never know. You know what I mean? You just never know. I'll let y'all know when I get there. But you just never know how it's going and what and why things are going the way that they're going. But I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna come here and I'm glad that you guys joined me. Did I miss anything? I heard that Divorce Sisters ain't come on today. Is that true? I need to take this nail polish off. Yeah, yes. CJ, I don't know who April is. I don't know who April is. But I'm glad we got on here early. I was able to get on here earlier. Tag, I said I wasn't gonna be on here that long, and I was still on here. But yeah, you guys. So I just was taken back. It's on Paramount, but is the other episode on? Because I'm sick of Geneva. Geneva had a lot of nerve trying to fight that girl. She got a lot of nerve. But I'm not seeing anything that has is you watched it? Is a new one? The last one I saw, she was about to try to beat the girl up, because William brought somebody in the house. I said, "Oh, William is doing too much," and I don't know about nobody else, but William is not even my type. But William has become so attractive to me. I don't know if it's because he got his little heart broke or what it is, but William really do seem like he's really a good guy. Any word on what really happened with the man who killed his 8 children? No. Oof, I don't really cover those type of topics over here. Yeah, my heart can't handle that. This is news to me. Mm-mm. I don't know nothing about that. Yes, ma'am, to what? What you saying yes, ma'am, to? Yeah. Before I get out of here. But ultimately, I just feel like at the end of the day, with all of this stuff that's going on, you guys, like, let's try to look and see what we can learn from it. Because I do believe that everything happens for us to learn from it. It's something in it that we can learn. This is a good thing. Hey, don't show up online saying that you're something that you're not. If you do show up saying that you're something that you're not, it can backfire and it can come back on you. You know who you are even when people are shouting otherwise. You know, um, stick by your people, whoever that may be. You know what I mean? Um, just because other people join the bandwagon of bringing someone else down, whoever it may be, friend, family, foe, or coworker, um, don't just stand by. I think we talked about that a couple months ago. What coworker are you? Are you the coworker that sits there and say nothing knowing your coworker is being mistreated, or do you say something? I just think that there are so many different things that we can learn with everything that goes on. With everything that goes on, even if you did do something, even if this was something just done for some form of attention, all attention ain't good attention. You know what I mean? Uh, which was going on now with the presidency. Some people may say, "Well, I didn't vote at all," but not voting was they best basically voting for him. But then the other thing is too is like, yo, let's look at that. You know, now everybody is talking all upset because of what's going on. They're trying to get reversed. They call them the Jim Crow laws and all of that stuff. Like, it's just so much more important things that are really going on around the world right now that's bigger than goddamn Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, honestly. The same week it was Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and people were upset because AP created a pocket watch or something that regular folk can afford or something. Just look at the stuff that's important, that's becoming important, and then everybody keeps saying, well, it's a distraction. Well, it's only a distraction if you allow it to be a distraction. And of course, you're gonna always have your people who down in the gutter that ain't gonna come out the gutter. But um, I feel like we can learn from a lot of things. Lotto, she's a very pretty, attractive girl. She's pregnant by this married man, but the world is yelling at the dark-skinned girl who's not so attractive. So they say that's in a relationship with Papoose because he's still married. Like, come on now, we're picking and choosing. You know what I mean? We got to stop. The selective outrage is killing me. Then we have this lady who, Dr. Bryant, not a doctor, do this. You can tell she's very educated. She's very confident. She speaks well. She does know what she's speaking about. She's confident, knows who she is. She's always talked about God from the beginning, and now I even seen somebody attacking her now, saying she's trying to bring God in it. It's like, no, she always talked about God. You know what I mean? First thing people do is try to attack you with everything. It's just not nice. What else? It's just like when Jamal Bryant was up here sleeping with everybody. Would nobody let you dare say nothing bad about Jamal Bryant? Well, he was sleeping with everybody. They would say, well, he could preach the word. Well, guess what? She ain't a doctor, but she know what she talking about. And this nigga got a mega church. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's be for real here with this foolishness. Like, for real. Like, for real. Okay? See, now I'm not about to go a whole nother way. But it's just like when you sit back and you're thinking about all of this stuff, it's like, let's be for real here. Stop picking what you choose to be loud about. You know what I mean? Tell them, scenario. We got neighbors out here stealing groceries. You feel me? People need to learn how to mind their business, mind their own homes the same way they be documenting these celebrities. They ain't getting paid to investigate. I wish I had a. As soon as I get a bigger desk, yo. And if you guys, like I said earlier, if you would like to donate, you could send me something to the Cash App or to the website because I need a bigger desk. I want to get a bigger desk. And if not, just share the show, okay? But that part, I wish, because I want to add my little sound shaboings. That part. And I get it if it's something to talk about, for talking points, if it's for like your shows or something, but don't goddamn bring, like, Lord, add to the conversation. And here I like to do that. I like to take real life events that's going on and find something brighter and the positive in it. And although that this is a hell of a conversation, but and things like that, yes, it doesn't take away from how people feel about it. But at the top of it all is, do your research. You gotta do your research. Start doing your own research. You can't believe everything and everybody. Because I too have had one-on-one sessions with people, and I've had some very successful sessions. I even do it when I have, my one-on-ones with the people that I've done business with. You know what I'm saying? And I've experienced that. Let me tell y'all before I get out of here. Y'all remember that crazy girl that tried to work with me before? When I met her, I used to be a sole proprietor. We know that, right? We know last year we became an LLC. Shout outs to us. Courtesy of y'all with y'all donations and booking me and all of that. Your girl was able to register the LLC, right? And I remember when I met this girl like 6 years ago when she wanted to work with me or whatever, and I have it on camera, right? And I guess this is another point. Thank you, Lord, for that. I have it all on camera, right? This is when I was recording my reality show. Like, I was recording what goes on with me behind the scenes, and video was always on. And she had a falling out more with me because I don't be falling out with people. People fall out with me, because y'all already know the backstory behind that. But moving forward, one of the messages she said to me, she said, "You're a fraud." She said to me, she said, "You don't own a production company." Never said I did. "You don't own a production company." I did my research. She said, no, she didn't say research. That's my word. She said, "I looked you up. You don't have an LLC." I never said I didn't. Right. And I never said I did, actually. And when she said that, I laughed. And all I said when in the correction, I said, "I know I don't have an LLC. I'm a sole proprietor. I never told you that." And of course, everybody always go and make a video about me. Y'all, for us to be so small out here in these streets, we really be popping. And she made a little video on her page, this is a fraud and whoop de woo, and I was the wolf in sheep's clothing because I didn't want to give her half of my business. Are you crazy? But outside of that, right? And I was like, I sent the message and I said, "I never told you I was no damn LLC. Where the hell you get that from?" But the point is, it's on video. It's on video. I have the video where I said this to you, like when we first met. Like, there's no secret here. Back then, I ain't no fucking money to pay no damn. Sorry, part my mouth, but I have it to pay for what was it? What was it? The yearly paperwork, and then you got to go pay for it. Girl, no. I had only been in the game for 3 years. Not saying we balling now. We not. We holding on. But you're an LLC now, though. How about that? Okay. And thank God the papers ain't due. Okay. How about that? And I'm like, "But you found me and wanted to work with me. I didn't even know who you were." So it be coming from those type of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, but you wanted to work with me. And the only reason why you saying all this is because I said I wasn't giving you half of my business that I had already started 3 years before I met you. Are you crazy? And long story short, her business is not even around anymore. So you see how that is? God don't play about me. So, but needless to say, definitely was hating. But needless to say that I am not discrediting anything that has gone on with Miss Cheyenne and things that's going on. But I have experienced some of it to a degree. I'm just not blown up yet for y'all to know about it. People have definitely talked about me on their platform. In the very beginning, oh, yeah, they did. And didn't care if I followed them and they wanted me to see it. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, the one thing I'm grateful for, though, ain't nobody ever been able to rewind no footage and find a fraud yet. You understand? Clock that. What they say? Clock that T. And for one, I come here and I tell my business anyway. But you know what I mean? So it's just things of that nature. When, and the one thing my cousin always used to teach me, and she's always said to me, and rest her soul, and this is why, and I said that same thing about Dr. Cheyenne to my homegirl when it happened. My cousin used to always say, "The higher up the ladder the monkey goes, the more his butt's exposed." So it's like, the higher you go, the more people and more things about you can come out. So you gotta make sure you got your stuff in order. You gotta make sure you're not using this microphone because it's dangerous to go out here and spread it. Because yes, like Nicholas said up here somewhere, There are some people who aren't going to do the research. I believe he said it up here. There are some people who aren't going to do the research. You know what I mean? Um, they're not. She talked you right into to your victory. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. The truth, the truth even withstands fire. No matter how they come at you, you can't be defeated when you stay true. Yeah. And you know what? With that comment too, people want to see you sweat. People want to see you fall. People want to know what you look like. People want to know that you're going through. People want to know that whatever it is that they think they know, that whatever it is that's going on with you has got you so tore up. Like they want to know. Like they want to know. This is why, and they, Nicki, y'all know y'all hate her, but Nicki Minaj, Drake, Chris Brown, um, Tory Lanez. This is why those few in that music realm catch so much smoke, because they've shown that they don't need the machine, especially Nicki. She's been blackballed since like 2000. Whenever Whitney Houston died, she's been blackballed since then. But her fan base is so big, they don't know how she still lasted, right? They don't know how her music still sells. You have Tory Lanez who did something. He ripped he ripped out the middleman. So many of his fans became millionaires overnight because he allowed them to buy like shares or stocks or something into one of his albums. And he wouldn't sign to a record label. They tore him to shreds. Now he's in prison. Rihanna has moved on and became a billionaire and got about 75 kids by ASAP Rocky. And now she's a billionaire. Chris Brown and her got into that fight when that boy was about 18, 19 years old. Nobody will endorse Chris Brown. Chris Brown still goes number one, has sold around tours, sold out. You understand? Sold out tours and still go on. Why did America forgive Rihanna, but America won't forgive Chris Brown? Y'all know how I feel about people who put their hands on people, okay? But the point of the matter is, with that comment, with what you said, people can say what they want and things can happen. We all have a life to live. Nobody is perfect. But if God got something for you, God got something for you. It ain't gonna matter what nobody say, because at the end of the day, he knows your heart. I don't know Cheyenne Bryant's relationship with God. I don't know Chris Brown's niggas, any of them. But it can't be but so bad, because we ain't see them hit damn near rock bottom. And even what Kanye West said, he is 400 million at his brokest. Child, I'm 15 cents at my broke. I'm $1.25 with a negative 55 at my broke. Okay. These celebrity broke and our broke is two different broke. I would love to be broke at my 400 million, okay? So, even just with all of those things, even Armand Wiggins, I like Armand. Armand is another YouTuber. They tore him down. He did that Diddy trial some justice. Do me a favor, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up on that video for me, please. They tore him to shreds because he did the Diddy trial, and at the trial, because it was something with his audience, he poured oil all over himself. They was upset, but they was like, oh, he's done. And he said it, look, I'm still, He said, "Look, I'm still learning. I make mistakes. I didn't know that, it was that, but okay, I get it. But I'm gonna move on from it." They just booked him on the Shade Room to cover the Met Gala. Like he's doing other things. Like people still thriving. The problem is when people go through things and people do wrong, we the people want them to stay stuck and don't move from the wrong that they did. That and I feel like that is the bigger issue that we need to look at. Why do we want these people to stay stuck? Why do we not feel like people can say, okay, I apologize and keep it moving? You don't have no platform to book her. Some of y'all ain't gonna never meet her. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, why? Well, then you can, because you can do anything you put your mind to. But it's just like, no. You do what you can do with what you can do for you. You know? And that's just really what we have to do. Focus on being the best you can be. Cause she already got her 50 acres in the mule and a mule. Just like she's being raw crucified, she still has her core people. Because guess what? Prior to this, she still had successful clients. She still had people who were buying her book. When you have your core with you, your people gonna rock with you. They're gonna rock with you regardless. So, shoot, I don't know. She'll be back, and hopefully she learned from it. We can't say she didn't learn from it. We don't know what she dealing with. You don't know, and then you don't know what she's saying. Now you know how things get when it makes the internet. Now she has probably made that school popular, right? That said they went out. You never know. Come next month, they beat and showed up and said she was not lying. We did close down. Boom. And they find the doctorate and give it to her. Because that's how shit work. When you put something on, look at the lady who made the song about y'all better go get one of these, what, a chicken salad. She piped that store up and they ended up giving her money for that. Look at the girl that just did the little Pepsi song. Pipe Pepsi up. They gave her money for that. You know what man means for evil, God means for good. He could turn this whole thing around in her favor. You gotta let it finish playing out. Honestly, we gotta let it finish playing out. Now she may have to be more specific and careful when she speaks. Hey, don't say that because you know this, you don't have your doctorate. Let's figure out a way. Like, okay, say this. But I seen her. She did an interview. She just did an interview on this other podcast and said, something therapy. And the girl was like, "Oh, because you such and such." And she said, "No." She said, for the confused people, no, not therapy. Something. She said she was like, because you know how they are. I don't want to confuse. So she sees what's going on. She's doing shows about it on other platforms. She was like, we don't want to confuse people now. They already pissed. She know. So just gotta let it finish playing out. But like I say, we are all courtesy. We are here courtesy of ourselves. And I told y'all know I watch TV shows and find the bigger pictures in TV shows. Just like with his divorce sisters. What I'm learning from Geneva and that goddamn William is something that I still stand by anyway. No matter how difficult it may be for you to have to tell the person you are in a relationship with something that may hurt them, you have to find the way to tell them if you love them. That's what I'm getting out of this, that little scene. So I'm learning some things. I don't look at things all the time with like this judgmental aha, there you go moment. It's like I'm always like, Lord, what you want me to see in it? Next, pretty soon, somebody probably trying to tell me God don't talk to me. You know what I mean? And they be like, what? I just think, like I said earlier, I think people we just subconsciously do it and don't even know we do it. We're always we. You ever hear somebody tell you something about you better than you? Lord, if all the stuff I've had, listen. But the people who know who they are, and when you know who you are and you stand firm in it and you deal with it, ain't nothing nobody can do with you. So I said all that to say, do your research. Do your research. Stop picking and choosing what you upset about. If you want to hold Dr. Cheyenne Bryant accountable, you too must first hold yourself accountable. And understand everybody's not going to feel how you feel about it. And guess what? And that is okay. And that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. But this was so much fun. I feel better that I got that up on my chest. Thank you, Lord, that I got that up on my chest. And I will see you guys next week. Have a great day. Let me know if you enjoyed the show. And we'll see whatever foolishness we can get into, because the world is going crazy. Pay attention to what's going around. Stop paying attention to what's not important. And spread love instead of hate. Smile today, no matter how tough it may be, because it can change in the blink of an eye. See you later.